Welcome to Week 7 NFL Picks. This is Secure the Bag. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy. What's up, Slug fam?
What's good? We
Welcome
back
back.
in the building. back in the building. Man, I hope you guys are excited for this week in the NFL. I am excited. For one, I'm rocking my Cowboys gear because I think that even though they don't play this week, it is going to be a big week for the Cowboys to hopefully get some rest and recovery and hopefully sort some things out, man. Come out of this bye week a little bit refreshed.
Yeah.
And then also looking at the slate, there's a lot of good games, seemingly close matchups. So like a lot of kind of coin flips. So
this week was difficult. I was looking at the game. This was kind of hard.
Yeah, I know. In that prep work, I'm like, oh man. So I'm excited to hear how you're feeling about some of these games and see where our heads are at, if we're kind of close or if we're off. I feel like this week could go either way. Before we jump into our picks, though, I do want to welcome Pops into the show. Good afternoon. Thank you for rocking with us. And gotta give another shout out to Pops and also to our boy Franklin. Both of them went 14-0 last week on our Yahoo Pick'em contest. So great job there. And Franklin actually won out on the tiebreakers, had the closer final scores for the Monday night and Sunday night games. So great job, though. And we'll see. Maybe, Pops, we'll be taking some of your advice this week since you've been locked in. You've been on the top point getter the last 2 weeks. So if you're not playing in our Yahoo, join us on there. Whoever wins each week gets a Super Bowl square for the big game at the end of the year. So lots of fun, and it's free to join anytime. So hit us up with that. Okay, let's do a quick review of last week. Strizzy led off with 12. I led off with 11, and I hate to admit this, but I somehow, we talked about it on the show, and I picked the Lions on the show. But when I went back and looked at my picks, I must have just been on automatic or something because I picked the Cowboys. That ended up being the difference. So it is what it is, though. I stand by it. It's all good. But on Secure the Bag, I did say, I thought the Lions would win. And then somehow when I look back at my picks when I was reviewing to get these prepped, I was like, dang, how did I somehow pick the Cowboys still? But that's because my heart, I guess it just won't let me click a different button,
Well, I feel you. I want to say last week I bet against the Panthers, and for some reason I went to go look. I chose the Panthers to win. Like I picked the Falcons. When I went back, I was like, I'm straight this week. And I was like, I did pick the Panthers. I was like, why the heck did I? I was like, yeah. So I did the exact same thing. I chose the Falcons on the show, and I picked the Panthers in the pick 'em. I was like, man, I must have just
that shows our heart. You know what I'm saying? Like we just blacked out for a second. We just can't do it. So let's see how we do this week, though. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Strizzy, you'll lead us off, starting with Thursday Night Football. Sean Payton rematch. We got the Broncos at the Saints.
Yeah, man, this one's actually really, really tough for me. Broncos defense has been fire, and Saints are missing a lot of players this week, man. Like, I including the quarterback. So, like, I can't imagine the offense going to be too tight tonight. But I'm expecting a big game from Alvin Kamara, man. So, I think I'm going Broncos. Like, I think I'm going Broncos in this one, and not because I think they're better. I just think Saints are really hurting right now.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going with the Broncos as well, just because of the strength of that defense. The Broncos offense really doesn't have much, but I'm not expecting much from the Saints offense, with Spencer Rattler in there. He didn't do bad last week for the first half. Like, he didn't do too bad.
Yeah.
But they just got a little bit overextended, a little bit overmatched, coming out in that second half. Pop's got to give him credit. He said the alien did play well.
Yeah.
He's been calling him the alien since like the South Carolina days before he even transferred to Oklahoma. So we've been watching this kid for a long time. I do wish him success, but it's a big spot tonight. So I don't know if the home crowd is going to make enough of a difference. So I'm going Broncos as well. Moving into Sunday morning, we have another London game, the Patriots at the Jaguars.
I'm taking the Jaguars. I don't even know why. It's, I just, for whatever reason, I feel like they're a little better than the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially from the offensive side of the ball. But this could be a Drake May breakout game. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? But I am taking the Jaguars in this one.
I'm going with the Jaguars as well. I think they're a little bit further along on offense. Trevor Lawrence has actually put together a couple of decent games these past few weeks, and they're kind of starting to move the ball better, be more what we expected. So I'm going with the Jaguars as well. The Patriots, Drake May, yeah, he did all right, but he had turnovers. He's a rookie. He's going to get through those slumps, but it's tough to be a Patriots fan, man, because they don't even have the defense to look forward to really anymore. I'm like, they were hoping maybe Drake May would be a savior, but I don't see it this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like the Jaguars got this one.
They've got a lot of work to do. The offensive line got some work. You know, they're hurting at running back right now with Lamondre Stevenson being out, and they still don't have that go-to guy as a receiver either. So
Yeah,
they've got a lot of work to do considering what we've been used to the last, 2 decades.
absolutely, absolutely. That standard is high.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. This is probably one of my games of the week. The Lions at the Vikings.
Yeah, man, this one's a tricky one too. I I think I'm going to take the Vikings in this one. They're coming off a bye week, so they've had a lot of time to prepare. I think they also have the best run defense in the league. They're allowing only like 68 yards running, and the Lions they need to be able to run for their quarterback to be able to kind of do what he wants to do. I think it's going to be an ugly game. I think the over is kind of high, like 47, 48, but I feel like that's an under for this week. I think both of these teams are going to struggle. I think it's going to be a lot of passing in this game, so their DB's got to be ready. But both of these teams are great against the run. Not good, they're great against it. So I think it's going to be a fast game because there's going to be a lot of slow paced game. Going to be a lot of passing. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. I'm going with the Lions in this one as the road underdog. This is tough, but I think this is going to be the biggest test for the Brian Flores defense for the Vikings so far.
Yeah.
And I think honestly, this is definitely a coin flip, a great division matchup. I feel like the first quarter, first half is going to decide it because if the Lions get out to a lead, they're very multiple and they can really hit you in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
And the Vikings, even though they are coming off that bye, they looked a little bit iffy actually against the Jets.
Yeah.
Like, and I know they'll have a little bit more time to prepare, and I definitely think this can go either way. Pops is picking the Vikings as well, but I'm going with the Lions here. Just I don't know if it's because of how well they played last week and that momentum it seems, but also that could be a little bit of fool's gold too. But either way, I think this is a great game to watch, and I agree with you. I think it's going to be a little bit more low scoring than the line has it. So
yeah.
We'll see. That's gonna be a good one though.
Neither of these teams allow over 100 yards of rushing.
Right.
They've allowed a 100-yard rusher yet this season, and I agree with you. The Vikings, Jets have a better defense. Their offense is just trash. So I'm trying to. I don't know. This is definitely one of the games of the week. Both of these teams are really, really good. So you might see me flipping back and forth from these two teams until they play.
Right. I think that's the other thing too that crept in my mind is like the Vikings aren't going to go undefeated. So
no, for sure.
They're going to have to lose one of these. Maybe this isn't the one, but coming up soon, they're going to get an
Oh,
L,
yeah.
so.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be a good one, though. All right, let's move on to the Titans at the Bills.
Oh, I've got the Bills in this one. I'd love for them to kind of bounce back in a big way. They didn't lose, but I'm just saying I think they just kind of – last week was really close game, and they won by 3. And I think, I don't know, Titans just don't have enough for me. Good defense, though.
Yeah, I agree. They have a good defense, but that defense is tested like we've seen in past. When you have no offense and your defense has to play so many snaps, you can only hold up for so long. Yeah. I'm going with the Bills in this one as well. I do think that they want to get right and show a little bit more. That Jets game should not have been as close as it became. Right. And I think they're going to be able to test out their new weapon in Cooper, man. If they get him, get a couple deep shots, we might get an early look at what that's going to look like. So I am going with the Bills as well.
Very true.
All right, Sunday morning. This is an interesting one. Dolphins, Colts.
Oh, another kind of a game of just some really kind of busted teams right now. You know what I mean? I think they're still trying to decide. I think Anthony Richardson comes back from injury this week, so they have to figure out if they want to actually continue to start their not the rookie, but their kind of franchise quarterback, you know what I mean? Or continue with Joe Flacco. But for some reason, I'm still just not feeling this Dolphins team yet. They got to get their ground game back going before Tyler Huntley can really do anything, in my opinion. And Arcanes is coming off of an injury last week as well. Or for the last 2 weeks. I think they were on bye last week, but he was injured. So I think I'm going Colts. I think like the whole field advantage for this one. Calling coin flip game again because they both stink, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm going with the Colts as well at home, but it makes me sad in my heart that I'm actually worried that Anthony Richardson is going to come back. I feel stronger about the Colts with the steady Joe Flacco in there and with the downfield passing game that he creates.
Yeah.
But I still think they have enough to get it done either way. And the Dolphins are just, reeling. Like they have 2 wins, but that's against the Jaguars and the Patriots. And we just talked about them. So
exactly.
All right. Moving on to another good one. Seahawks at Falcons.
Yeah.
Battle of the Birds.
Falcons have looked pretty decent in these last couple of weeks, but I am going with the Seahawks. They had a tough Tough game last week, but I don't know, for some reason my brain and my heart says Seahawks are going to win this game. Atlanta is due for a loss, and it's going to be this weekend.
Yeah, I feel you. Like, this is another one of my coin flips because I'm like, Atlanta, looking at their record, they're not like a 4-2 team seemingly, but that's their record.
Yeah, for sure.
And the Seahawks don't look like a whatever they are, 2-3 team, 2-4 team, but that's their record.
Right.
And I've had so much belief in the Seahawks this year so far and in that new coaching staff, but man, he was looking like a little bit dazed and confused on that Thursday night football game. And the Seahawks are actually right behind your Panthers in giving up points per game. So I think this might end up being a high scoring one. And I'm going with the Falcons simply because they're at home and because that running game is so good. When they can get to the running game, it's so good. I think Algier and Robinson might be the best 1-2 punch. Maybe the Lions have a chance at that, but they're up there in the top duos. So I think if the Falcons can get a lead and get to that running game, I think they're gonna win this one. So another weird one
last weekend.
Yeah,
they killed it.
Most definitely. Another good matchup. We got so many coin flips this week. The Texans at the Packers.
This one is a weird one for me. When I was looking at this game, Green Bay was the favorite. And even though they're at home, that still surprised me a little bit because I do feel like Texans is the better team. So just because of the way I be going sometimes with just gambling, I'm actually going Green Bay with this one. I believe in the Texans, but I think Green Bay is going to win this, and I think they're going to cover the spread too.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I looked at it, I was like, let me double check, But looking back at the Texans, it's crazy, but I think CJ Stroud has masked a lot of their problems. They have been without Joe Mixon. They're getting them back, but they've been without a solid running game. They've been using Cam Akers, who's like a third stringer going into the year, preseason guy.
For real.
They're missing Nico Collins. Stephon Diggs still hasn't really stepped up in that way. And the Packers score a lot of points. So if they can avoid the big mistake from Jordan Love, which the couple games has kind of popped up randomly, but with their big playability, with them being at home, I agree. I think the Packers win this game, and I think we'll see a little bit more of the shine come off of the Texans a little bit because they've been holding up and their record is great, but they haven't been all that great. They just played the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? Like so.
Yep.
Pops agrees with us, so he's going with the Packers at home as well. So
nice.
All right, this one I really need to know what you're feeling. We got the Bengals at the Browns, a battle of Ohio. What you got?
I got the Bengals. I think the Browns are kind of packing it in. Like I said last week, I really would have loved to see Jameis Winston get a chance to start with Amari Cooper still there. You know what I mean? Because I feel like now it's just not the same thing. But the Browns do get Chubb back this week, and I hope they don't overdo it his first game back. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. But I think Bengals are kind of finding their stride offensively now, and I just feel like if they can just score some points, the Browns are not going to be able to keep up.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going with the Bengals as well, but I do have them on upset alert only because the Browns have confidence against this team historically. They seem to play them well. Obviously, it's a division game, and maybe they do have a Nick Chubb miracle game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's ready to put the team on his back, and I'm ready to see Deshaun Watson with some kind of a running attack like that. I still don't think it's this week, but I don't know why. I think this is going to be a closer game than we expect.
The Bengals defense is not good.
Yeah,
they're trash. If there was ever a game for the Browns to get right or get a win in, like it's this one for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. But I don't know. I'm not confident enough to push that button, but I'm watching. I've got them on upset alert.
Hovering over the button. I'm hovering over.
Exactly. Another one might be an upset alert. Eagles at Giants. What are you feeling in this one?
I like said, upset. Same thing. I'm kind of hovering over this as an upset, but the last couple of years, like the Eagles and the Cowboys have just kind of been dismantling this Giants team. I don't know if Neighbors is playing. He's still kind of going through concussion protocols, and I know one of the other receivers is hindering an ankle injury as well. But I also know Devontae Smith. He kills this Giants team every time they play him, man. So like I'm going Eagles. Bro, when I tell you upset alert, like I'm with you on that one, man. This has a lot of upset potential, especially because they're also playing in New York. So we'll see. But I got the Eagles for now.
I'm with you. Same thing. Like I got the Eagles. I think that they should be dominant in this one. The Giants are disappointing, man, because honestly, that Cincinnati game on Monday night was a winnable game. They just needed a drive or two, you know what I'm saying, or at least a drive in the right time late in the game. They had a chance, but Daniel Jones kind of slipped back, and that was with Neighbors back, I think. So I am going with the Eagles. They got AJ Brown back. He just makes that offense way better. So I'm going with the Eagles, but I don't know why the Eagles just looked a little bit iffy against the Browns. So I'm like, is this when they kind of fall down? I don't know. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm going with the Eagles as well.
Taking Saquon's under yards too. For some reason, I just feel like they're gonna do everything to stop.
It ain't gonna be no revenge game. Yeah,
no, they're gonna do everything in their power to make sure he don't have a big game. So
they can look better.
Taking the over on all their receivers and the under on their running back.
You know, the GM was like, do not let him explode on us like that. Yeah. Like, you know, they're like, stop him. We can lose by 30, but don't let him be part of it.
AJ Brown going for 125, Smith going for another 125, but
nothing from Saquon to under.
Have 25, 30 yards.
I'm with you on that. All right, next up we got the Raiders at the Rams.
Oh man, this is tricky, but I'm going Rams. At the end of the day, like it's still in California, it's still in LA, and on top of that too, like they have the better quarterback of the two teams. LA's struggling, but they're still competitive. They also have better coaching, so I'm going with Rams in this one.
Yeah, I'm going with the Rams as well. The Raiders are definitely all over the place. And the Rams, like, they need a chance to get right. This is a perfect game for them to get right against the Raiders. And still, the Raiders just don't have a quarterback. When you don't have a quarterback, no matter how well you play on defense, no matter what you kind of can put together and scheme up, it's going to be a struggle. So I'm definitely going with the Rams in this one, as well as Pops with the emoji on there. Next up, we've got the Panthers at the Commanders.
Oh, man, this is going to be crazy. One of the best offenses going against one of the worst defenses in the league. And literally, we allow 33 points a game, I think. So I'm going Washington for sure. And it's in Washington. I feel like there's no way we win this game. That Washington team's just looked really, really good, man. So it hurts to say it, but yeah, I'm going Washington in this one.
I'm going Washington as well. The spread is 9. I'm like, ouch. That's a little heavy, but I could see them covering it, honestly, depending on how it goes. I think my question for you, and we can wait until Tuesday maybe, but my question is going to be for you, do you see them going back to Bryce Young at any point? Do you want to answer it quick now or go deep on Tuesday? Or
go deeper on Tuesday.
Okay. All right, we'll save that. That'll be a little tease for Say Like a Champ episode 269 on Tuesday. But for now, we're both going Commanders, and the Pops has said he's going Commanders, a.k.a. Redskins. Okay, we got a Super Bowl rematch here, but a different element, different look to it. The Chiefs at the 49ers. 49ers actually favored at home. Who do you got in this game?
Yeah, this one's tricky. I feel like everyone's expecting the 49ers to kind of get some comeback or whatever, but for some reason, I just feel like Kansas City is still going to win. They're going to sneak it off and stay undefeated for whatever reason. So, not only that, like they've had 49ers have a really hard time beating the Chiefs, in the last couple of years. So I'm sticking with the Chiefs. I think they get it done again.
Yeah, I'm going with the Chiefs as well. I feel like San Francisco hasn't been able to generate that pass rush that they need. As long as they can stop the WB over there, I feel like the Chiefs will be okay. And then on defense, man, the Chiefs really get after the 49ers well. They're going to get after Brock Purdy. I feel like they generate a lot of pressure with that Spagnuolo defense. So I'm going with the Chiefs in this one as well. But I honestly feel like I'm not feeling it as like a Super Bowl matchup like so much. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just both of these teams look very different. So I think this is just like a 2024 edition. It's like a new thing. But I am going with the Chiefs. I think that they'll be able to squeak it off and stay undefeated because they just find a way to win. All right, moving on to Sunday Night Football. We got the Jets at the Steelers. Sounding like Russell Wilson is going to be the starter. Justin Fields being benched, and Devontae Adams is going to play.
I'm going with Jets, and I'm only going Jets because Russell Wilson's starting. Justin Fields made a really good comment, a humble comment, and basically said, I understand it because I haven't been playing very well. And I disagree with that. You know what I mean? Like the Steelers, for whatever reason, yes, they're good at being an average team. But I feel like that's more of a reflection on the coach and not necessarily Justin Fields. Like they're not letting Justin Fields throw the football. So for me, it's just like how can he perform well if he's just going to allow to throw it? So I don't think Wilson is the answer to this, and because of that, I feel like the Jets are going to win this game.
I agree. I feel like the Steelers want to take a step back. They want to be average. They want to just be like time clock, game manager, run the ball a lot, play defense. When you don't, I get you can win like that, but you don't have to win like that.
Exactly.
You can be dynamic. You can open it up. I agree with you on Fields' comment. It's like that was the coach speaking to him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like that was the coach speaking through him somehow.
Yeah.
And I agree, kind of like, okay, yeah, if he was playing better, if he was playing lights out, there's no debate. But at the same time, he did enough to go and win that job. He has 5 rushing touchdowns, an element that'll go away right away with Wilson. And he only had 1 pick, so he's taking care of the ball. He did everything he needed to do.
Exactly. Which
I
is
don't get it.
Steelers football right now.
Exactly.
Under Tomlin, that is Steelers football.
Right. So it's weird to me, but I am going with the Jets for that reason as well. The only thing for the Jets is I'm not expecting this Rodgers-Adams reunion to just click back right away.
Oh, me neither.
But I do remember those dangerous times where they had such good timing on like that back shoulder where you couldn't really defend it, you know?
Yeah.
I think they might get to that later in this year, but I don't think it's going to start right away. But I still feel like the Jets have enough to win this game just because the Steelers don't want to score points.
I said the Jets won't win 9 games this year, though. I think they're going to get 7 or 8.
I love it. I love it. All right, Monday Night Football, the first of a doubleheader. We got the Baltimore Ravens at the Buccaneers.
No, this game should be pretty fun. 2 mediocre defenses with great offenses this year, so we'll probably see a lot of scoring again in this game. But I'm going the Ravens. Lamar Jackson's like 26-1 or 27-1 against NFC teams. He just beats them down, so I'm going Ravens. Keep that record going.
I agree. I'm going with the Ravens as well. I think this is going to be a fun game. Like you said, mediocre defenses, offenses that can really score. I think, though, at some point in the second half, the difference will be a long Derrick Henry run or a slow drive running, switching with him and Lamar to kind of take control of the game. I feel like that's the one element that's different that really takes the Ravens over the top this year is that you just never know when Derrick Henry might break off that 80-yard run and and he's still got that in him, especially the way they're kind of saving him up. So I think that'll be a good game, but I definitely am going with the Ravens as well. Now, next up, this is a first of its kind. It's really weird. ESPN Plus only. They're doing them dirty. A second Monday Night Football game, but why aren't you on primetime? Chargers at Cardinals.
Yeah, this is another tricky one. Cardinals, man, I don't know. Anytime Kyler Murray does something good, the very next week he reminds me of why I don't believe in his ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm going with the Chargers, man. I feel like obviously better coaching with a hard ball behind it, and I feel like they're figuring things out, but I think they're starting to figure those things out. And they looked really good against the really good Broncos defense last weekend. So I'm going with the Chargers. I think they beat them.
Man, I feel you, man. Kyler Murray is definitely 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. You know what I'm saying? But I am going with the Cardinals in this one. I don't know why. I know they don't play well at home all the time, but I feel like they're going to scheme up something for the Chargers. And I also feel like if the Cardinals have played better than their 2-4 record, if they don't win this game, season's over.
Yeah.
If they win this game, I feel like they can find a way to at least be relevant longer into the season and maybe make a push because their division, nobody's running away with their division.
Exactly.
So I'm going with the Cardinals in a kind of must-have it. They're underdogs at home, so this is my one upset special. And I do think it's disrespectful that ESPN is doing this where it's going to be only on ESPN Plus. If you're going to have the Monday night, if you're going to rob us of an extra Sunday game, at least just put them both on. Stagger them. Put one at 6 p.m. Eastern, and the next one at 9 p.m. Eastern, whatever. Just make it so we can watch both. I'm tired of this overlapping. Why are you getting double headers and then making them overlap? So you're forcing your audience to split. Exactly. And it's always where one game is way better than the other.
Exactly.
So what are you expecting on your ratings? I don't get that.
Yeah, it makes no sense at all. None.
Yeah, that's my little fan rant. But at least those people in Arizona, they got the game because it's local, so it'll be on Fox too. So for that, that's cool. But it's just weird, man. I don't like the schedule mess around. They're starting to do way more putting stuff behind paywalls, which is where our society's going, I guess.
Right.
All right, we're going to wrap this thing up real quick. We're going to hit our locks really quickly. We did our money line. Now we're going to do our spread with adjusted score. And Strizzy, 2 bags last week. Great job. You want to walk us through your 3 bags really quickly?
Yeah. I think the Dolphins have a chance of keeping this game close with the Colts. I do think the Colts win, but I think it's going to be a last-minute field goal, and that field goal is going to put the Colts up winning by 1 or possibly 2. But I think Dolphins can stay within the 3. Like I said earlier, Green Bay with this one, for some reason, this has the same type of feel to me as the Lions versus Cowboys last week. even though it's like, you feel like the Cowboys are better than that. Essentially, for some reason, I just have the Texans losing bad in this one for some reason. It's a gut feeling.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, I think Eagles. I think Eagles beat the Giants. They have they've kind of been the middle brother, big brother between them and the Cowboys and Giants, whatever. But for some reason, I don't see New York offense doing enough than the Eagles. So Eagles by 3.
I feel you. I like these picks. I definitely think that Green Bay Houston, I almost put that one on my schedule. Last week for me, the Bucks and the Bears. So appreciate them, the double B team. This one, Lions, Vikings. I don't know why, but I like the Lions as an underdog in this situation coming off of a big win. But we'll see if that's fool's gold or not. We just talked about this one. The Cardinals are home underdog. I don't know why this is my upset special. I just feel like they're going to come through with something. It's like every 3 weeks they have a great game. So they'll do again. And the Chargers, I don't know if I really totally believe in them. And then the Chiefs as an underdog, undefeated underdog. I know they're going on a road, but they always find a way, like you said, to beat the 49ers. So even though it's 1.5 and that's basically a coin flip, I think they're going to win outright. So I had to put that on my lock slate.
Yeah.
And real quick, we're transparent as always. Our records so far this year on the money line and on the locks, we're going to look to keep this thing going, get at least 2 or more bags each week, especially hopefully for that trifecta. And last but not least, we mentioned it earlier, the Cowboys are on a bye week, and also the Bears are after coming back from London. So only 2 teams on a bye. We got 15 games to watch.
Nice.
Should be very exciting. All right, that's it. You got any other thoughts about tonight's game?
Not really. I don't know. It has a chance of being a real stinker. I might take Kamara's touchdown ladder up to 3. Because last year he had that 6 touchdown game or something like that.
True.
So I just feel like they're going to utilize him a lot in this game because they really don't have much else. You know what I'm saying? So I might do the 1, 2, and 3 touchdown ladder for Kamara's. See if we can get them all.
I like that, but I do agree. Might end up being a stinker. Yeah. But either way, enjoy this week's NFL games. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. Make sure you pick your picks on Yahoo and see who gets the Super Bowl square this week. And we'll be back next Tuesday for the big show. And Strizzy's going to tell us whether Bryce Young will make a triumphant return this year or not. But until then, it's your boy AW.
And your boy Strizzy.
Peace.